The city is on fire. Rent is climbing. The bridge is closed again. Everyone is tired. Then someone rolls a red button into the square. It has no plan, no budget, no screwdriver. It just offers one thing: blame. And somehow, the whole crowd leans in. Because blame does something useful. It gives pain a handle. A bad month becomes a face. A broken system becomes one door you can kick. That can feel like oxygen. If nobody listens, blame is a megaphone. If officials shrug, blame points at the shrug. If a boss lies, blame puts a red circle around the lie. This is why blame is not automatically stupid. Sometimes the person on the hill really did steal the money. Sometimes the official story is nonsense. Sometimes the quiet expert missed the smell of smoke. A good accusation can wake up a sleeping room. But the button has a problem. It is much easier to press than to repair anything. So watch the recipe. First, take a real hurt. A grocery bill. A hospital hallway. A school roof dripping into a bucket. Then shrink the whole mess into one villain. The people on the hill. The people across the river. The weird neighbors. The invisible committee with the fancy chairs. Now give the crowd one clean sentence. They did this to you. That sentence is tiny. That is why it travels. It fits on a sign. It fits in a chant. It fits in the angry part of your brain. Complicated answers are rude. They arrive with charts. They ask for patience. They say there are trade-offs. Nobody wants a trade-off when the kitchen is flooding. So the button wins the room. It says, stop reading the manual. Hit me. At first, the hit feels honest. The crowd finally has a shape for the thing hurting them. The mayor stops smiling for 1 second. The camera turns around. The people who were ignored get a microphone. This part matters. Without blame, power can hide inside fog. Every office says, not my desk. Every desk points at a hallway. Every hallway points at a closed door. Blame can kick that door. But then the button learns a trick. A specific person is not enough. A specific policy is not enough. A specific receipt is not enough. The button starts asking for a bigger enemy. Soon the villain becomes a type of person. A type is easier to hate. It has no birthday. It never apologizes. It can never prove it was not there. Now the button is not finding responsibility. It is manufacturing a target. And every target makes the button more important. Notice who stands next to it. The button keeper. He does not need to fix the bridge. He just needs to keep pointing at the river. He does not need a boring policy. He needs a louder villain. If the fire grows, he says the enemy is bigger. If the bridge falls, he says the traitors are deeper. If nothing improves, he says we have not pressed hard enough. That is the dangerous magic. The button can survive its own failure. The crowd gets a reward too. Anger becomes belonging. You are not alone in the mess. You have a circle. You have a chant. You have someone to look down at. That last part is where the floor gets slippery. Pain turns into permission. Permission to stop checking. Permission to stop asking who benefits. Permission to treat cruelty like courage. And the button hates time. Real repairs are slow. You need inspectors, budgets, meetings, boring adults with folders. You need the kind of sentence nobody puts on a poster. But blame is instant. Press it, and the room changes color. Press it, and confusion becomes certainty. Press it enough, and certainty becomes a costume. Then the costume starts looking for a parade. This is why political blame can feel so alive. It gives the crowd a story. It gives the leader a stage. It gives the problem a mask. And masks are easier to punch than pipes. Contracts, tax forms, supply chains, or 5 years of bad maintenance. The trick is not to ban blame. That would be silly. People should be allowed to point at the person who broke the thing. The trick is to ask what blame is attached to. Is there a repair? A rule? A receipt? A way to check if the accusation is true? A way to stop the accuser too? If yes, blame may be doing a job. If no, the button is eating the job. It is not asking you to solve the fire. It is asking you to enjoy the heat. Good politics can name responsibility. Bad politics needs an enemy so badly it will invent one. The useful question is not, who can I hate? It is, what would actually stop this from happening again? The red button will always be there. It is simple. It is warm. It makes the room feel brave. But if a button is the only tool in the city, do not be surprised when everything starts looking like a villain.